Right, welcome back everybody. In conversation with John Edward this morning, and what a stunning morning it is being spending here. Mondays are never nice, we know that. Mondays are, one of those days when you just, you're kind of happy to stay in bed. But this morning, I was extra excited to get out of bed, knowing that John was in studio with us and having a conversation. So you too could be extra excited, because we are giving away 2 double tickets to go and see John Edward live. And these tickets are in such demand. I mean, they sold out as soon as anybody hears that John's coming. So we've got 2 tickets to the 3 o'clock show at Montecasino on Saturday. But the question we're asking you is, what star sign is John? Tweet us at Morning Live SABC. You have to ensure, though, that you live in Johannesburg and that you can get down to Monty to collect those tickets. So please do tweet us. We would love to spoil you this morning. John, again, thank you. Thanks for staying on.
You.
I mean, we're extending this. We might even extend Morning Live, but I know you've got other things to do as well. One of the common threads in the questions that are being asked, I mean, we were looking at some of the questions that were coming through during the break, and all of them seem to say the same thing. I just want to know if my loved ones are okay.
That is the number one thing that people want to know in a generally specific to their circumstance, regardless if it was a illness or an accident or an event, whatever it is. Are they okay? And I always say, they are okay. The thing that takes them away from us does not affect their consciousness and the love that they have back for us, and they want us to know that. But I feel like they're okay, we're not.
Yeah, we're not.
And we have to work on us. We have to work on our spirituality. We have to be connected, because that allows us to connect with them.
Yeah.
So you have to honor our grief. And I always say, grief is very patient. It waits for you. So it is not something that you can just push. So if anybody's like dealing with a loss, the important thing is to deal with it. But if you can't do it alone, talk to a friend, talk to a counselor, talk to anybody that's in your religious backgrounds, whatever that is. Talk to someone to help guide you with what you're feeling. Because if you kind of block that out, it's like fog that rolls in. Grief is like a fog, and you can't see things in the fog. So even though the signs on the roads remain constant, the fog kind of gets in the way.
Yeah. Here's quite an interesting question, and I know the answer to this question, which almost makes me feel a little bit more comfortable believing in this, because I've always been a bit of a skeptic. I have, and I'm sure a lot of people are, and you encounter skeptics all over the place. You are one,
right? I am one.
Because, I mean, you are Catholic. Mm-hmm. I am Catholic as well. We're not meant to believe in this, are we?
It depends on who you talk to. It really does. It depends on where you're getting that person, because you have like religion and you have faith, right? But then you have interpretation. So like, I'm interpreting what I'm getting. I have met with a number of priests and nuns who are so open to the subject matter, because I've actually I've had to read their clients, like not professionally, but like for personal favors, because they needed assistance or whatever the case would be. So I know that there are people that are of faiths and clergy that understand it and get it. And then there are other people who are like, no, 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 no. So it really depends upon the person.
Yeah, it's amazing, because it's just it's finding that balance between what we're meant to believe and what we're not. But it's hard to not believe it when we see you do what you do. But let's go back to the beginning. Sure. And I know I've spoken to you about this, and you've spoken at length. But a lot of people are perhaps being introduced to you for the first time. What happened? Were you sitting and having a cup of coffee, and suddenly someone started speaking to you?
No, really boring story. My mom's side of the family always had psychics come to the house. My dad was a New York City police officer who wanted nothing to do with the subject matter and forced me never to be around it. My parents split. We moved into my grandmother's house, which is where it was the hub of paranormal activity. I was still not allowed to be around it, but I had adopted my dad's philosophy that it wasn't real, and my mom was crazy. My grandmother was crazy for having these wackos come to the house. And when I was 15 years old, a woman agreed to come to the house under one condition. Her name is Lydia Clark, and she wanted to meet me, so I had to be there. So my mom told me, this woman never does this, but she'll come to the house and she'll read for us, but she has a caveat. She wants you to be there. And I remember thinking, so I'm the bait. I'm the bait to get the woman in the house? And she was like, yeah, pretty much. So she goes, just be on your best behavior. And the reason she said that is I'm very, and I still am, sarcastic. I have a very sarcastic sense of humor.
Yeah.
And so I would make fun of all the people that came to the house. I would rip the readings apart when they were done. And so this woman, I went for a reading with her to prove to my family that she couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And she changed my life. She literally changed my life. She was wickedly accurate. And, I'm skeptical, but I'm not cynical. And I think it's important to be skeptical because you question everything. But I felt so violated when she read me, because she just knew stuff I didn't want her to know. She knew stuff that was going to happen that I didn't want to hear, and then it all happened. But the first part of her reading was that the reason why she wanted to meet me was because she saw through my mom that I had this ability and that she needed to put me on my path. It was a really mind-blowing experience. But I say this very openly. I felt violated. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
So it sent me on a path of having to understand what it was. And then through that path of discovery, then I had to reframe my childhood. Because I realized, oh, wait a minute, that's psychic. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that was psychic. I still have moments where I look back on something as a kid and go, oh, that was psychic.
So that's what it was all about. I mean, it's sort of the questions were being answered. And we spoke about your family now, and you showed me beautiful photographs of your kids. And you were saying they have the gift as well.
Yeah, I think everybody has the ability. Everybody is psychic. Everybody that's watching this is psychic. But I think there's a genetic predisposition, so they have it. And I train them on an energy level to look at life and to have the tools of numerology, astrology, and anything that's connected to protect their energy. But I don't, they could do readings, but they don't.
Yeah.
I'm not training them for that.
Yeah. I suppose you also don't, it's tiring. What you're doing.
My son is turning 15 this year. It's really kind of crazy because I'm looking at him going, oh my God, this is the age that I was.
You got it. This is when you realized.
When it happened. And I was like, adults came and paid me to I look at him and I'd be like, no offense to my son, but I would not go pay him for a reading.
Yeah. Would you change anything? I mean, do you like doing what you do?
I love my life.
Okay. Well, say no more.
Yeah, I would.
You love it and you wouldn't change a thing.
Not a thing.
All right, we're going to take one last break here on the program and then just wrap up our conversation with John. And I'm still going to tell him one last time, do another reading for us. Come on, find someone in the studio. There must be so many people. Anyway, let's take a break. We'll see what happens after this. Stay tuned.